Trauma is an emotional response to a terrible event. It's something that can take over anyone who's been through an emotionally disturbing or life-threatening experience, despite what many people think. Trauma isn't something that only people who have been diagnosed with PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder can have. Living with trauma can affect you well after a traumatic event or experience, and can play a big part in how you move forward in life. There are certain signs and behaviors that are common in most people with trauma. So, to help you become aware of whether you're still struggling with a traumatic event, here are 5 signs you're living with trauma. 1. You are still emotionally affected. Is the traumatic event still affecting you emotionally, even years later? The impact of trauma varies from person to person, and certain triggers like specific words, places, or objects can evoke strong feelings or memories. In some cases, you might feel like you're reliving the traumatic experience, which can hinder your healing process. If you're still struggling with emotional pain from a past trauma, consider seeking help from a mental health professional or talking to someone who can offer a supportive and non-judgmental space to process your emotions. 2. You avoid certain thoughts, feelings, and conversations. Do you sidestep certain thoughts, feelings, or conversations because they feel overwhelming? Perhaps recalling specific events or discussing traumatic experiences feels too daunting. Avoidance is a common coping mechanism for trauma, triggered by a natural desire to escape painful emotions. However, while avoidance might provide temporary relief, it doesn't eliminate the underlying issues. In fact, it can hinder your ability to confront and heal from your trauma. In more extreme cases, avoidance can lead to detrimental coping strategies, such as substance abuse or excessive drinking, which can exacerbate the problem. 3. You feel disconnected from others. Are you feeling increasingly isolated from others due to your traumatic experience? It can be tough to find people who truly understand what you've been through, leading to feelings of disconnection, being misunderstood, or feeling like you're alone in your struggles. You might even hide your emotions to avoid unwanted reactions from others. However, it's likely that there are people out there who have gone through similar experiences and can relate to what you're feeling. 4. You've become closed off and distant in your relationships. Are you always telling your friends and family that you are fine, even though you are not? Because traumatic events are emotionally and mentally damaging. They can be hard to talk about. Even when others are willing to listen and talk about how you're feeling, it can still be difficult to take them up on their offer. You may fear how they'll react, have trouble putting your feelings into words, or perhaps you just don't want to deal with a painful feeling of thinking back to the incident. However, when you suppress or ignore how you feel, you may just end up isolating yourself from your loved ones. So similarly, the people around you may be unaware of what you're going through and interpret your behavior as annoyance, moodiness, or assume that you're going through a hard time because of other problems. This can also create distance and strain in your relationships, making maintaining close friendships difficult. 5. You had negative shifts in personality and thinking. Do you struggle with feelings of inadequacy or doubt about your future? Trauma can profoundly impact your personality and outlook, leading to lower self-esteem, a pessimistic worldview, or increased cynicism. You might find yourself more guarded around others, expecting the worst-case scenario, or becoming aggressive when feeling threatened. This hypervigilance can strain relationships and make it challenging to form and maintain meaningful connections with others. So, dear friends, if you find this video useful, hit the subscribe button and comment your thoughts below.